Hey, what up, guys? I just have to do a review. I've already done a written review. It's on Letterbox. If you want to read my written review, my collective thoughts, but this is more a rant about things about Dark Phoenix that just why. Now there was Dark Simon Kinberg's directorial debut, and it's very obvious that it was a first-time director. He's probably written. I'm sure he's written some of the other X-Men movies before. I don't care at this point. Now, there's elements in the movie that I did enjoy. Very few. Like, I like the notion that they set up that this is all basically caused because Charles Xavier, instead of helping Jean Grey through her trauma as a child, is kind of said, forget about it, don't worry about it. Put a mind block on there, and that stemmed from everything. And that's kind of a notion that they've had in the comics before, that Charles Xavier is kind of a dick. He does morally questionable things, not on the regular, but just about. So he's not exactly the good old Charlie, good old pure and moral Charlie. He's not the best. He's kind of a dick. I did like that aspect that it's all stemmed from there. And I also like I mentioned in the review, I like Dazzler, little random cameo appearance, even though she was saying like a modern era pop song, it's supposed to be 92. That was weird. And she was wearing that classic disco outfit, which was cool. Didn't make sense, but it's this X-Men movie nothing really makes sense. Another thing that don't think I got into in the written review. I'm probably gonna look it up later and see who these characters were that in Magneto's compound. This is gonna be a spoiler review, by the way. I'm gonna put it in the freaking headline, but spoilers. Again, less of a review, more of a rant. Review 1 star. Pointless, waste of time. This is more of a rant about things that I just have to get off my chest about this movie, because this, for the first time in quite some time, I'm actually legitimately angry at this movie. I'm angry. The more I think about it, I'm like, why? I cannot wait for Marvel to come in and take over and give us a proper X-Men movie, because this era that Fox was the last holdout of when studios could just do free reign over, well, we've got the rights to this character, so we're going to do whatever we want to with it. Doesn't matter if it's in the comics or not. Doesn't matter if it makes sense or not. We're just going to do it because we're going to try to make money off of it. That era is done, son. That era is done, finito. It is an era now of where comic books can be translated to the screen directly. And maybe one day, 20, 30 years, maybe in my lifetime, hopefully, unless we destroy ourselves, we'll get a proper Phoenix Saga. I mean, it's right there. All you gotta do is 3 simple movies. I'm just gonna go off on a little tangent here. 3 ways to get a good Phoenix Saga. Don't do it all in one movie. Phoenix trilogy, really. First movie, you bring in the Phoenix. She gets possessed, Bring in Starcore, bring in the Sentinels, bring in Dr. Peter Corbeau. Do that whole thing, and that's like the opening action sequence, basically. Then we get into the Shi'ar stuff, get some Starjammers. We've proven now with Guardians of the Galaxy and Thanos and Captain Marvel that we can do space stuff with Marvel, so bring those guys on there. That's all one movie altogether. That's it. And then second movie, she's got the Phoenix, she's with the Phoenix Force. Maybe do like a loose adaptation or just something different. There was that era in the comics where the team was split up. Half the team was in the Savage Land. Well, first Magneto started out in that storyline, and then it ends up half the team's in the Savage Land. The other half, Jean Grey thinks the team is dead, and she and Storm, I think, they go off and just kind of live their lives normally for a bit, while the whole time she's getting corrupted by the Hellfire Club, and that could be a movie into of itself right there. Like, that's movie number 2. And then you lead to movie number 3 with the Dark Phoenix Saga, as it should be. You got the Hellfire Club, you got the Wolverine battle in the sewers, you got bring it back to the Shi'ar again, kind of tying everything to a nice little trilogy, and then that's how it's done. Like, I just thought up of that in like 5 seconds. Simon Kinberg had God knows how long to write the story for this. Like, I mean, sure, you wanted to condense into one movie because they were running out of time to use it, just as Fox was running out of time as a studio in existence. So yeah, they just kind of rushed and combined a bunch of shit that made no sense. Okay, let me see. That's where we went wrong. Where we went Okay, also, remember back when, I am drawing a blank on her name right now, but the generic aliens, Jessica Chastain, there we go, Jessica Chastain, when she was cast, they were like, Jessica Chastain cast in this mysterious role. And I said it was mysterious, and I was like, ooh, I wonder who she could be playing. Could she be playing, like, are they doing, like, another take on the Hellfire Club since Stark Phoenix, or is she playing, like, Lalandra, or maybe even Deathbird, like she's a not Stardammer, one of the She are trying to corrupt her? No, they're just, nameless. Did she have a name in the movie? I don't remember. I remember one of them's called, like, Vol, or something like that. I think that was the guy that possessed the government, the black guy. And these aliens had no names. They were you don't care about the aliens. They don't give us any reason. They're just like, we're generic aliens and we kind of kill people and you can kind of shoot us and like stuff falls off us. We're kind of like slightly more personality versions of those mindless things from a Suicide Squad. Those clay monster fucking things. And there was like no personality to them, no who are they? What are they trying to do? What are they trying to accomplish? They don't tell us anything. They're just like, they're bad guys. And they want Jean Grey. They want to turn her even worse. And blah, blah, blah. Okay, and speaking of Jean Grey turning worse, her dark thing that makes her dark is she kills Mystique on accident when she kind of pushes her power. And Mystique gets impaled by a thing. And then she dies. And Jennifer Lawrence, you could tell early on in the movie that she was bored. She was done with this whole X-Men thing. She was tired of the blue makeup. She's done with this whole thing altogether. She just did not care. And you can tell when actors don't care on screen. That translates over to their performances. Exception of Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones can phone in everything and it comes off as genius because he's that good an actor. Jennifer Lawrence is a good actor. Good actress. Good actor. But she's not at that level yet. She can't, when she phones it in, oh Lord, you can tell it's phoned in. And then, speaking of characters that we don't care about or know, who the hell are these people with Magneto in his compound? I was hoping for like a name or something like fucking Dreadlock dude, Dreadlock Medusa. You can whip people with his dreadlocks. Woohoo! Pow 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 pow. And then there's the other lady who I no idea what the hell her powers were. I thought she was somebody from the. I thought she was a Wasp, not Wasp. From the X-Men First Class. No way they killed that character off. She looks kind of similar, kind of familiar, but she gets no name, no explanation. And then she gets killed towards the end of the movie. Magneto cares about her because he knows who she is. He's been living with her. But the audience though, it was like, oh wow, she's gone. Oh no. Who was she? Doesn't matter, don't care. Yeah, there's a lot that just don't care in this movie. There's so much of that going on. The studio didn't care. They were just like, fine, put something out. We'll make some money. It doesn't have to make sense. And then at the end, Jean Grey goes evolve. She goes fucking Lucy. Instead of getting killed, she goes Lucy and evolves beyond human consciousness. And then into the Jean Grey School Charles Xavier School is the Jean Grey School, which is a nice reference to the comics. And then Professor X goes off to retire. I thought for a second they were going to do the Dark Knight Rises thing at the end there. He's going to see Jean Grey at a fucking cafe, like sipping a fucking cappuccino. But now Magneto cuts to him. And why aren't they older? Mystique, I'm sorry, this is kind of ranting, but Mystique is the only one who can get away with not aging because that's how her shape-shifting powers work. Beast should be goddamn near 50. Charles Xavier, etc. They should be Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen like era for these characters, and they still look like they're friggin' were in the 60s. Makes zero sense. That's the end of the X-Men franchise, and that's the end of this rant. This movie made zero sense. They made no attempt to do anything logical or cognitive with it. It's just a pile of crap. Avoid this movie if you can. Go see Godzilla. That's at least fun. Go see anything, really. This movie sucked ass. This is the worst X-Men movie in existence. And that's that. Alright. Rant over. Peace, guys.